They laughed when Ethan Dalton showed up to school in his dad's old flannel. "Smells like diesel and dirt," one kid sneered. Another snatched Ethan's lunchbox, a small metal one with a Peterbilt logo, and dumped it out on the floor. "Guess Daddy's too poor for DoorDash," the ringleader said. Ethan didn't say a word. He'd been taught that silence is strength. But when they started mocking the CB radio lingo, "Breaker 19, loser on the line," that hit harder than the shove that followed. By the time the teacher broke it up, Ethan's knuckles were scraped and his pride was worse. At home that night, he tried to hide it. But Jack Dalton wasn't the kind of man you could fool. Jack was a long-haul driver. Hands like road maps, eyes like highway lights. He noticed the bruise before the boy even spoke. "Who taught you to keep your guard down like that?" Jack asked softly. "Nobody," Ethan muttered. "Just some guys. They said you're a nobody, a truck driver." Jack nodded once, slow. "That's right, a truck driver. The kind that hauls medicine to hospitals, food to shelves, and parts that keep this country running while their dads sleep in air-conditioned offices." Ethan's eyes welled up. "They said you're gone all the time, that you care more about your truck than me." Jack sat across from him at the kitchen table, the hum of the fridge filling the silence. "You know what that truck pays for, son? This house, that fridge, your school. But if they want to see what a nobody looks like..." He paused, his jaw tightening. "They'll see soon enough." He stood, grabbed his worn CB mic off the counter and keyed it. "This is Road Ghost. Got a situation brewing down in Willow Creek Middle. Anyone rolling through 47 tomorrow, copy that?" Static. Then voices, gritty, loyal, familiar. "Copy that, Ghost. 10-4, brother. What's the freight?" Jack's eyes darkened. A lesson in respect. The next morning, as Ethan rode the bus to school, the bullies were already waiting, with their laughter sharpened. They didn't notice the rumble yet, not until the asphalt began to vibrate, low and steady, like thunder rolling from the horizon. The first truck showed up just after first bell, a white Kenworth, chrome shining like truth in the morning sun. Then came another, and another. By the time Ethan's class was halfway through math, 12 rigs were idling along the street outside Willow Creek Middle, lined up like armored elephants. The teachers thought it was a parade. The principal thought it was a protest. Ethan just stared out the window, heart pounding in his chest. He recognized one of them, the red Freightliner with a dented bumper, his dad's rig, the Widowmaker. By lunch, the bullies were outside again, laughing in a tight little circle. They froze when they heard air brakes hiss. Jack Dalton stepped down from his cab, boots hitting asphalt like punctuation marks. Behind him came the others, men and women from the road, Diesel brothers, Chrome sisters. They didn't come to shout. The biggest of the bullies, a kid named Travis, tried to act tough. They came to stand. "Hey, this your dad, Ethan? What, he come to deliver more excuses?" Jack didn't even look at him. He crouched down beside Ethan. "You all right, son?" Ethan nodded, barely. Jack stood, turned to the crowd, and said evenly, "You kids ever eat cereal in the morning? You ever turn on the lights, ride the bus, or use a phone?" The kids nodded slowly. "Then you've used something that a trucker brought you," Jack said. "Every mile we drive keeps your world turning. Every night we spend away means someone like you gets what they need." Travis rolled his eyes. "Whatever, old man. You're just truckers." One of the other drivers, a woman named Carla, gray hair under her cap, stepped forward. "I hauled ventilators during COVID. You ever deliver breath to dying people, kid?" The words hung heavy. The teachers were watching now. Even the principal came outside. Jack turned back to Ethan. "These roads taught me something, son. People judge what they don't understand. But respect ain't given. It's earned, mile by mile." Then he handed Ethan the CB mic from his pocket. "You want to stand tall? Then talk to your people." Ethan's hand shook as he keyed the mic. His small voice crackled over a dozen rigs at once. "Breaker 19, this is, Little Ghost. Thanks for showing up." Static. Then, one by one, the radios answered. "Copy that, Little Ghost." "You ain't alone out there, kid." 10-4, we got your back." That was the moment everything shifted. The bullies didn't see truckers anymore. They saw an army that could move mountains. And for the first time, Ethan stood with his shoulders straight, his father's quiet pride running through him like diesel through a line. Jack nodded once, satisfied. Tomorrow, they'll forget what you said, but they'll remember how we stood. The air was thick with the smell of fuel and respect. And the engines? They were just getting warm. By sunrise the next day, the story had already spread. A dozen rigs lining a middle school curb wasn't something a small town could ignore. Half the county had seen the photos, truckers standing shoulder to shoulder while kids watched in stunned silence. But Jack Dalton wasn't done. Respect, he said, ain't a speech. It's a showing. That afternoon, he called the principal. "Ma'am," he said, voice steady as asphalt. "We'd like to do a talk for your students. Nothing fancy, just the truth from the road." So they rolled in again, 20 rigs this time, chrome mirrors flashing under the sun. They parked in formation across the school lot. Ethan stood beside his father, nervous but proud. When the bell rang, hundreds of kids poured outside, even the bullies, especially them. Jack stepped up on a flatbed and took the mic from a PA system one of the drivers had brought. "Name's Jack Dalton," he said, his voice carrying across the wind. "Been driving 18-wheelers for 22 years. Some of the best people I've ever met live behind these wheels. They don't wear suits, they don't ask for applause, but they keep this country breathing." He pointed toward the line of rigs. "Every truck you see here carried something for someone who never said thank you. That's fine, we don't drive for thanks. We drive because if we don't, shelves go empty, hospitals go quiet, and lights go dark." The bullies tried to laugh, but no one joined them. Jack kept going. "My boy here got picked on for what I do. That's fine too. You can laugh at me all day long, but you touch my son again." He paused, the air going still. "And you'll answer to every driver here." Engines rumbled to life all at once. The sound rolled over the crowd like thunder breaking open the sky. Teachers flinched, kids gasped. The bullies shrank back, pale and small under the weight of 100,000 horsepower worth of loyalty. Then Jack raised his hand. Silence. "We don't fight kids," he said softly. "We fight ignorance. And the only cure for that is truth." He nodded to the drivers. One by one they opened their cabs, each revealing something human. A teddy bear hanging from a mirror. Photos taped to dashboards. Stickers that read, "Hauling Hope." Carla stepped forward again. "Every mile we drive is for someone's kid, someone's mom, someone's tomorrow. You think that's something to laugh at?" Travis, the ringleader, couldn't look up. Ethan did something his dad didn't expect. He walked over, stood in front of Travis, and held out his hand. "I don't hate you," he said. "I just want you to understand." For a long second, nobody moved. Then Travis took the hand, quietly, respectfully. Jack exhaled through his nose, a half-smile forming beneath the stubble. "Lesson delivered," he muttered. The drivers started their engines again, horns blaring in perfect harmony. One long, rolling note of victory that echoed through town. No violence, no violence, no vengeance. Just the unmistakable sound of earned respect. By years passed, the story of the day the truckers came to school turned into local legend. Some called it Diesel Day. Others called it the day respect rolled in. But to Ethan Dalton, it was the day he learned what strength actually looked like. Quiet, loyal, unstoppable. By the time he turned 18, Ethan had grease on his hands and highway in his blood. He didn't chase applause, he chased purpose. On graduation night, he gave a speech no one expected. "My dad taught me something," he said, his voice steady before a gym full of families. He said the road teaches you how to see people, not by what they own, but by what they carry. Some folks carry pride, others carry pain. My old man carries this whole country on his back. The crowd went silent. Then one by one, the teachers and students who'd witnessed that day years ago began to stand. Even Travis, now older, wearing a mechanic's uniform, stood and clapped until his palms turned red. Jack Dalton watched from the back of the gym, calloused hands folded, eyes misting under the fluorescent lights. He'd never been much for speeches, but seeing his son stand tall in front of the world, that was his applause. After the ceremony, Travis approached Jack. "Mr. Dalton," he said quietly, "I work part-time at the truck stop now. Every time a rig rolls in, I make sure they get a hot meal and a thank you." Jack nodded. "That's all any of us ever wanted, son. Respect." That night, father and son rode together for the first time. The highway stretched out endless, a ribbon of light through the dark. Ethan sat in the passenger seat, window down, wind whipping his hair. "Dad," he asked, "you think people will ever stop looking down on guys like us?" Jack smiled faintly. "Doesn't matter if they do. Long as the road keeps moving, we've already won." They rolled through the night, headlights cutting through fog, diesel humming like a heartbeat. Somewhere in the cab, the old CB crackled to life. "Breaker 19, this is Little Ghost riding with Road Ghost. 10-4, we're rolling clean." Static. Then a dozen familiar voices answered back. "Copy that, Little Ghost. Keep her steady. 10-4, kid. Proud of you." Ethan grinned into the dark. The same Brotherhood that once came to his defense now welcomed him home. And in that moment, surrounded by the sound of engines and friendship, he understood what his father had meant all along. Real power isn't money or muscle. It's miles. It's loyalty. It's the kind of respect that doesn't have to shout, because the whole world can hear it in the rumble of a truck passing by. Every year since, on the anniversary of Diesel Day, the Dalton convoy rolls back into Willow Creek. They don't honk or boast. They just park, engines idling low, and hand out lunch to the kids. No speeches, no banners. Just one sign on every cab window. Respect the road. It's carrying you. And somewhere in that lineup, a new voice always calls over the CB. "Breaker 19, this one's for my dad." The response comes like thunder. 10-4, Little Ghost. Keep her rolling. Justice earned. Legacy sealed.